So I'm a real estate agent. Thank you for not scrolling away. I'm also an AI trainer. Again, thank you for not scrolling away. And even I am overwhelmed by how fast this AI industry is moving. And that's a weird thing for me to say as an AI trainer, but I am frustrated with the amount of stuff they are shoving up my algorithm each week. But it's true. Every week there's a new tool, there's new training, there's a new workflow that's going to change everything. ChatGPT just released this. Claude just dropped this model. Perplexity now has a computer. You should need to do your workflows. How are you doing that? Like, it's completely overwhelming. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, specifically of how it must look on the outside of this. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, what about the agent that isn't in this every day? The agent who's tried ChatGPT a few times, right? Maybe you wrote a listing description or you experimented with some social media content and then you close the tab because what do you do next? So here's what I think is happening. You're not falling behind in AI. You're just sick and tired of being told that you're falling behind with AI. And there's a difference. Someone's telling us constantly that if we don't, some AI trainer, somebody selling a tool is telling you that if you don't learn AI now, you're going to get left behind. And if you're a thoughtful person who has built a relationship, has built a business on referrals and relationships, you look at that pace and you think, I'm not going to catch up. That's not for me. Or I'm not going to catch up, but maybe I'll give it a try because I think this will be like a thing. You don't commit to it. You never actually take the time to implement something significant. You dabble, right? And I get it because I've been there too. I've done that same thing. And I'm going to tell you how I got into this, why I built what I built here. And I'm going to tell you what I think most AI training in our industry right now is getting wrong, including for myself, what I was getting wrong for a long time. So I'm Matt Goldman. I'm the creator of Creative Authority, which is an AI training program, but I'm also a real estate agent who has built two businesses across two different markets using AI. And in doing so, I have dove deep into the subject and I've learned a lot. And I will tell you right now that anybody that comes and presents themselves as the authoritative voice in AI anything right now is full of it. This is changing so dramatically. I said week to week earlier, it is really day to day that there is no one that knows really what's happening. Even the people that are creating the tools do not know what the other people are creating with their tools and what's going to happen. So I have been doing this for a while. I'm still learning about it. I might be a year, 6 months further down the journey than you are. And that's why I'm here to help you learn what I have learned, because I've come up with what I think is a very unique way of operating as an authentic real estate agent using AI. So here's how this came to be, right? I was in Bellingham, Washington with my wife. I was a top producing agent there. And then we decided, hey, let's have a baby. Why not? Let's do it. 43, you should have a baby right now. And right, life changed completely. We packed up our car. We moved back home to Grand Rapids, Michigan. We don't have family specifically here, but we have them much closer than we had in Washington. And that's what sparked the move. But we were in a new market, new expenses, new baby coming. And I had to rebuild this entire business from zero in a place where nobody knew me as a real estate agent. I had not kept connections here as much as I would have liked to. And this all happened in late 2022, and it happened to coincide with when ChatGPT was released to the public. And I thought, okay, this is a tool that could help. I don't have the luxury of time right now. I have a family depending on me. So I started using it every day and I got okay results, right? It worked. It could generate a listing. It could draft social media posts and strategies. And they were fine, but they were incomplete. They were competent, but incomplete. They didn't do the thing that actually differentiates me in my market and in my marketing. And if you know me from a past life, you know that when I see something online, I'm immediately turned off from doing it. I enjoy it. If you're following trends and you're making stuff, I enjoy it. I love watching that. But if I see you do it, I'm done. I'm out. It doesn't bring me any joy to create that. When I approach every listing is with a unique, fresh perspective on how can I creatively serve this person in a way that other people have not. The same thing with buyers. How can I creatively help you win this home in a way that other people haven't seen before? And that's what drives me in this business. But I remember working with ChatGPT and just seeing the stuff that it was producing on my behalf when I would prompt it, and it would give me this script back of the market's hot right now. It's a seller's market. And it was vapid, generic, super competent and well scripted, just not creative, not authentic to me, my business values, my actual voice. And I'd sat with that for a minute, and then it hit me that I could teach this thing. There is literally nothing in this world that is impossible. That is core belief that I have. I can teach this thing. I can shape this machine, and I can figure out how it operates so that I can make it operate like me. That's what it's supposed to be doing. You just have to learn how to do it. And that possibility that I could teach it, that became the thing. Not just using the tool, but knowing that I could shape it, that I could teach it my way of thinking, my principles, how I actually work. And then I would pull patterns from me instead of pulling patterns from the generic everybody that has ever created something for a client in real estate. So I started giving it time out before I move into this. So I think this is an important aside to teach you really quickly how ChatGPT, Claude, all these things work. These LLMs, they don't reason, they don't think, they are not your friend, they are not your psychologist or your doctor or your buddy or your lover, whatever you're using it for in a different way. They are pattern recognition engines. That's literally it. You give it a prompt, you ask it a question, you give it a command. It responds to you in a way that predicts the next logical token or the next logical word. Why is the sky blue? Word 1, the. Word 2, sky. 3, is blue. That's what the user asked. Because we need to put because in there to frame this as an answer to the question. Like it is word by word responding to you. And when you give it a prompt without any specific foundation or instructions or any like information about yourself, it is pulling from literally every piece of written history, and all of that, when you baseline it out, becomes all of like our written history. If you're watching this, my hands are moving, is tumultuous and crazy, but over the course of written history, it looks like a very flat line. So it sounds really generic and it sounds really vapid and soulless. And that's why you get that AI style writing from things. When you're reading it, you know it's been AI because it just sounds too damn generic. They're trying not to sound generic, but it is generic. So that's how ChatGPT works. Started giving it instructions, right? And I watched what happened when I was giving instructions. It vaguely started remembering them, right? In other chats weeks later, instructions that I had given it would show up again. And I thought, oh my God, you hold information. You son of a bitch, you hold information. You actually can remember what I tell you. It can remember what I tell it. So I sat down and I took everything that I've done in my business plan, who I want to serve, how I want to serve them, and I fed it all into this machine. And then something shifted, right? It started pulling from that, from my principles, from my actual way of working, not from the average of everyone else. And because and it started creating on my behalf in a way that actually mimicked me. And that's a tough thing for a machine to do. And that's when it clicked. That's when I realized what is broken about most AI training in our industry. Everyone's teaching you how to use the tool. Nobody is teaching you how to know yourself well enough to give that context. No one is teaching you how to know yourself well enough to give it your pattern to work with. And that became the whole thing. And that's why I built what I built. So I took that system. I built it. I used it to grow my business. We started Grand Rapids House and Home. I built a team with it. Started a blog that goes out to over 30,000 people. We created social media content that grew our Instagram channel from 340 followers to 6,500 in 2 months. We started getting from that then real engagement from potential clients that we were in turn able to convert into paying customers. And it led us into a way to actually just take advantage of opportunities through our marketing content. And I did it all using this method, this tool, right? All of it pulling from the architecture of how I actually work, not a generic pattern. And then part of what the strategies that I created with ChatGPT through using this was to create a referral network. And so I'm part of 4 different referral meetings and networking groups that happen each month. And I started talking about this. And I asked, like, how did you do it? I used AI. I told it to do this. Can you teach me to do that? Sure. Yeah, why not? Oh, you're teaching him. Can you teach me too? Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. And so then I put a training together and I taught it live. And that's like how this, when I sat down and if you go to agentslearnai.com, the creative authority, that is not me sitting down and saying, AI is hot. I got to make a training about this. That was built out of something that I created for myself and then other people asked for. And now I'm here to offer it to those who want it. But in those first trainings, something became really clear to me. The agents who got results were not the ones who were doing the best prompting with it. They were the ones who did that foundational work first, right? The ones who got really clear on their values, who articulated their voice clearly, who understood how they actually work with their clients and why they work that way. Those were the people that were getting the most insane benefits out of this. And something happened that I didn't really expect. Agents would go through this training, they would come back and they would say, I didn't realize I didn't know my business like this. I never took the time to answer questions about how I serve people and who I'm working with and why I like to work with them. And I needed to know this, not just for AI, but for your business, period, and anything that you're doing inside of it. That discovery became part of the thing. Because the truth is, you come for the AI, but then you realize that you need this foundation, whether you use AI again or not. That's when I understand what creative authority actually is. It's not just an AI training. It's the work of knowing yourself, your values, your voice, your principles, how you operate so deeply, knowing all that so deeply that when you do use AI, it reflects it back to you. Instead of reflecting back to you everyone else's BS. Everything else that you create flows from there, from that self-knowledge. So here's what I want to leave you with. Everyone in our industry is telling you that you need AI. You need to learn this tool. You need to master this workflow. Here are the 7 prompts that created this BS, and here is this. And they're not wrong. AI is useful, but they're missing the point. The truth is, you can't use AI the way that it is most effective for a real estate agent unless you understand your business first. Until you understand your most unique selling proposition, which is you. That's not optional. That's the foundation. And once you have that foundation in place, once you know your values, voice, principles, and how you actually work, then you don't need to chase every prompt. You don't need to pay attention every time a new tool drops. You don't need to feel left behind. You get to see all of this stuff coming at us and chuckle that it's irrelevant because of what you have built inside of your AI by using the creative authority system, right? You're not using AI to figure it all out. You're using AI to amplify who you already are. If that resonates, creative authority is for you. agentslearnai.com. That's the whole thing. Don't feel left behind.